If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Well, hello you gorgeous mother truckers, and welcome to another video. Right then, so, another video about Liverpool. Will it be the last one? Very much doubt it. But in any case, so, there's been a big thing about the fact that the police rushed out, and the media, rushed out very quickly to tell everybody, it's a white British guy. It's a white British guy. Okay, so everybody's gone, and I've had people in my comment section go, well, that's okay, so now, from now on, we're going to release ethnicity and description of people who've committed crimes from now on then. Well, no, of course we're not. Do not expect us to release every suspect's ethnicity, said police. Force makes unprecedented decision to reveal nationality of man who ploughed into Liverpool crowds 2 hours after the attack. Yeah, I can already hear what you're saying. Police voices said they will not release the ethnicity of every suspect in the wake of the incident at Liverpool on Monday. Well, unless, of course, it's the white guy, yeah? Racists? This is the police admitting that they're racists. There is only one way of looking at it. It is the only way you could look at this statement before I do anything else. There you go. Police forces have said they will not release the ethnicity of every suspect in the wake of the incident on Monday. So therefore, they'll only do it with white people. Therefore, the police are racists. There you go. End of problem. But in any case, let's carry on. The driver of the car that ploughed into the crowd during Liverpool Football Club's victory parade was described as white British hours after being arrested on Monday. In the wake of Southport killings in 2024, Merseyside police were heavily criticised for allowing a void of information about the perpetrator. Axel Rudabakani which was filled with misinformation, including he was a Muslim asylum seeker. He was a Muslim, he owned terrorist manuals, and he was second generation. His parents were definitely asylum seekers who should have been sent home, but a particular lawyer argued their case so they could stay here. That lawyer was, of course, one Keir Starmer. Keen to avoid a potentially similar situation, bullshit. You could hear the collective sigh of relief that it was a white guy. The force said the Monday suspect was a 53-year-old white British man from the Liverpool area just 2 hours after the incident took place. So people who think now they've made it right, well, no, we'll only tell you if it's a white guy because we can breathe then. And we'll talk about the suspect in another video. Usually when a suspect is arrested, police forces in England and Wales disclose the age of the person and where they were arrested. But there's no national guidance about what information to release, but it's ultimately the discretion of the chief constable, sources said. Bullshit! Up until recently, every time an incident occurred, we had a description of the guy, what he looked like, height, age, weight, ethnicity, so we all knew what to look out for to help the police. But in the last few years, nothing. And now they're saying, well, there's no guidance. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I grew up in the 70s, 80s and 90s, and if somebody committed a crime, you were told what they looked like. So you could look for them if you had to, especially dangerous people. But now we don't say shit, and that's because it's a white guy. They added that revealing suspects' nationality would not happen in every case because it's all not relevant and may be an issue at trial in some cases. Again, absolute raging bullshit. This is lies. This is the police lying. This is the police saying, we'll only name it if it's a white guy because we're racist against white people. It's clearly what it says. Given the events following the Southport attack where obvious heightened awareness of information should be released to the public to prevent misinformation spreading. Bollocks! You did it because you were breathing a sigh of relief it was a white guy. Even though that's in doubt. But in any case, one source said. Dal Babu, former Chief Inspector of Metropolitan Police, said the decision to release ethnicity with suspects so early was highly unusual. And it's because he was white. That's why. We all know this. You think we're stupid. This is the problem. You think we're stupid. We know. Suspect is yet to be... nothing about the suspect. He ain't white. As soon as he's white, it comes out instantly. Speaking to BBC 5 Live, what we have to do is unprecedented. is the police very quickly giving the assistance and race to the person who was driving the vehicle. It was Merseyside police who didn't give out the information on the Southport horrific murders of those 3 girls, and the rumours that he was an asylum seeker, first generation, they arrived on a boat. Well, his parents did, and it was a Muslim extremist, wasn't the case. Well, actually, it turned out that he was. So I think the police have done very, very quickly, and I've known a case like this before where they've given the ethnicity a race of the individual who was involved in it. But he was white as well. I think it's to dampen down the speculation from the far right, there we go again, of some continues on X, even as we speak, that this was a Muslim extremist, and there's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, like he tailgated an ambulance but ended up 5th in the queue of cars. That someone's sole purpose in life was to rush in and rip the number plate off the car. Yeah, but of course it's all conspiracy, isn't it? You've already had your story. This was all planned. You had this story in a line, ready to go. Violent disorder broke out in Southport area after widespread rioting across the country. Yeah, you're going to mention the fact that the one that happened just up the road from me where a load of Muslims went mental? No, it's only the white people you're going to mention, isn't it? Mr. Babu said the Merseyside police had clearly lessons from Southport and were trying to strategy to quell false narratives forming early. No, it's because he was white. It is remarkable striking that the police will not release that kind of information because they'll be worried about prejudicing, English would help, any future trial, which again is road rubbish. But I think they have to balance against potential public disorder, and we have had a massive after far-right extremists have spread these rumours. Oh, here we go. Even though it turns out that the ones who were spreading the most misinformation didn't even live in this country. And were Asian, but they were from Pakistan. We'll leave that out though, won't we? Yeah, because you've got to push the far right. Steve Rotherham, the mayor of Liverpool, defended the force's decision to release the ethnicity of the suspect. He said if you looked on social media, within minutes of the incident being posted, there was speculation from some nefarious groups who were trying to stir up speculation around who was responsible for it. The whole idea was to put misinformation and disinformation to calm people. You didn't calm anyone. And I'll be honest, the vast majority of what I saw on X, I didn't see any of that. At all. Merseyside Police held a police conference 4.5 hours after the attack in which they provided further information, including the fact the man who was arrested was believed to be the driver of the vehicle. I still don't know how he was believed to be the driver of the vehicle when you fucking dragged him out of the driver's seat. Rather than a passenger. Well, we all saw the pictures of the vehicle driving past people and he was on his own. I mean, it's not... Oh, this is the problem. They talk bollocks all the time. They also stated it was not being treated as terrorism. It caused people to be respond in terror. That's terrorism. That's the definition of terrorism. Assistant Chief Constable Jenny Sims, here we go, said extensive inquiries are ongoing to establish the circumstances leading up to the collision, and it's vital people do not speculate or spread misinformation on social media. No, that's the police and the media's job to do that, not ours. So there you go. So if you believe that now they've done it once, we're going to get it all the time. No, why would you believe that? Because there's no way the police are ever going to do that. Because if it's a black guy or an Asian guy, they're going to lie. They're going to keep it suppressed because they don't want anyone getting upset. But if a white guy does it, a 53-year-old ex-Royal Marine apparently who panicked, yeah, then they're going to push that story. Because every time, and you can hear it, I can hear it in 1,000 living rooms. When an incident occurs and they say details of the suspects are yet to be announced, everybody immediately goes, it's not a white guy. Because if it is a white guy, it's almost instantaneous. And the police are basically saying, we're not going to do this very often, but only if it's white. Because that's clearly what it is. So we can now pretty much say that the police have admitted that they're institutionally racist against white people. This hatred of white people, especially white men, continues apace. Dangerous times. Any case, 2 videos popping up at the end of this one. One will be the last one I uploaded. The other one will be the one the gods of YouTube using the mighty algorithm will pick for you. It's called The Chosen One. If you like what I'm doing, you can subscribe to the channel, you can ding the bell to get a notification, you can like, you can share, and of course, you can let me know what you think in the comment section. And if it doesn't, there's an email address, gobstertalks@yahoo.com, where you can let me know what you actually think, because YouTube delete most of the comments that come through. I swear on my kid's life, do not delete any comments unless, obviously, they're vile, disgracing, and utterly racist and misogynistic, real proper things, yeah? But if you're just calling me, if you want to call me a see you next Tuesday, yeah, you can. Whatever. They're there. I don't delete them. And it's so frustrating that when you've got a situation where you want people to feel that they can, engage in a conversation, agreeing or not agreeing, doesn't matter. It's the fact that we can be there and we can have conversations. That's what's important. But YouTube are deciding whether or not you can have them. So not only are they threatening the channel and they're keeping my views low, they're preventing you from being able to speak as well. But do your best. But as I said, if you've tried and you can't get it, send it on an email to that email address, and I can read it there. And we can probably have a discussion about it, or I'll just use that information at a later date. Any case, enough of that. I'm done. So, till the next one.
Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten. Every picture has been repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered. And the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right.